Hi, my name is Alyssa Sonic, and I'm here with Teri Townsend, who is a nurse practitioner at UnityPoint Clinic Pediatrics, and we are going to just look through all the sunscreens, and Teri will kind of share some tips with us on what to do or what not to do. So Teri, first question I guess is, what ingredients should you look for when you're trying to pick out a sunscreen for your kiddo?
So kind of depends on the age. For kiddos 6 months and less, we don't really recommend sunscreen. We recommend hats, covering them with like the swim rash guards, things like that. But if they're going to be in a direct sunlight and you want to protect their face, which is one of the places we get the most sun, you can use like a zinc oxide, which is an ingredient contained in a lot of diaper rash creams. But you can get just a plain zinc oxide. They're going to look kind of like a ghost because it's not going to totally rub in, but it will protect them. You don't want it to have oxybenzone contained in it. So when looking kind of in this aisle, we found when you get above the SPF 50, that's what you find. But that's one of the ingredients that we encourage you to stay away from. And you want it to say broad spectrum, so it's going to give you UVA and UVB protection.
All right, so I know you're always debating about, do you go with the 30, do you go with the 100? How do you go about deciding what SPF you should pick?
So pretty much anything SPF 50 and above doesn't really give you any added benefits. So if you want to use an SPF 50, just because it's a little higher, keep those kids that are going to be at the pool for multiple hours. You can also use an SPF 30. The other thing is make sure to follow the instructions that you're going to apply it at least every 80 minutes. So if you're at the pool for 4 hours, you probably need to do it at least 3 times. Making sure that you spread it evenly, following all the instructions on there. But pretty much anything above SPF 50 is not really needed.
Are there certain sunscreens that are better for kids with sensitive skin?
It probably just depends. Some kids, it doesn't matter what sunscreen you put on them, they're going to be super sensitive. So sometimes it's trial and error, which kind of stinks when sunscreen is expensive. But some of them, if you look, if they're more of a sensitive skin, your zinc oxide probably is a good one for your sensitive skin kiddos. And a lot of those kids tend to be fair-skinned, red-headed kiddos that you know burn easily. And so the zinc oxide is definitely a good option. And sometimes the sprays, if there's like cooling agents or different things like that seem to be added benefits, those may be not so good for those sensitive skin kiddos.
Okay. And then just last question that we came up with is, does sunscreen expire?
So there is typically on there, I think there is an expiration for most of them. Yes, so there's an expiration. This one says 4/20/22. So it does expire. Once it's opened, it doesn't necessarily, like if from one summer to the next, you're probably good. But follow the expiration on the manufacturer's guidelines is a good one. So kind of looking at this aisle, you have your sprays and then your lotions. And then you also have like face sticks. So here's one that's easier to apply on the kid's face. It does not have the oxybenzone, but it makes it easier. Kids are a little more compliant with that. And then spray versus lotion, kind of your preference. Just making sure that you get it evenly. Sometimes with the sprays, we don't see where we get it all over, but if it's really windy out, the spray is probably not as beneficial because it's going to blow away, so you're not getting as much on your skin.
Sure.
So that's a good one. And then these little sticks right here have SPF mineral. The most thing they have in it is zinc oxide. Your kid will look like a ghost, but these are great ones for the face, and that's one of the places we definitely want to protect is the face, because we know skin cancers when kids get older. Even if it's cloudy, if it's sunny, if it's rainy, or even if there's snow, the sun can reflect off. So remembering those times that even though it may not seem like it's just bright sun, to putting it on there, and just kind of keeping your kids protected.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.